watch Clint Eastwood.
What the hell?
No worries. Oh, wow. Oh, what?
No, watch Clint Eastwood.
What the hell?
Oh, wow. Oh, what?
No, watch Clint Eastwood.
What the hell?
Over and over again. You went there.
Well, I just heard that we're having Christmas pictures taken on Saturday. And I'm not gonna.
Oh, I got to start over?
Yeah.
They told you no beard?
Son's got a beard.
Hey, what? Make him shave.
No, that's okay.
That's funny.
Apparently I was supposed to have started it earlier. Well,
Oh, but nothing that looks like stubble.
that's the problem.
I know, it's too short. To make it look like it's intentional.
Didn't get the memo.
In time.
We're gonna do the new business first and then the old business.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And we're gonna do the resolution for the electric to the barn because we're not exactly sure we've got enough money.
We don't have, I mean, it was for 10 something,
Yeah.
10 and change, I don't know.
We have to investigate better. We might not have.
Enough?
Yeah.
Mm.
We'll see.
Left in the grant, you mean?
You there?
Sure.
Yeah, Dan, how's it going?
Good.
I know. Couldn't get warm all day today. Damn.
Little one sick. Other one had flu through the weekend and
Oh, my God.
so taking time bomb of illness in our house right now.
Something's going around. My son got something over the weekend and his wife and now my grandson.
Doesn't take much.
I said, thanks, I'll see you soon. We were gonna get together for dinner. I said, no, that's not happening, unfortunately. Oh.
I can't hear a damn thing exactly. Imagine you're really not getting much snow or corn, are you?
No, we had a breakdown Saturday afternoon. Like on our combine, it has a vertical auger. It feeds that horizontal unload auger. And the bearings went in that. And we had to drop all that out. So the vertical auger that feeds that was shot. the horizontal unload auger shot. So I called around, got prices, figured all the stuff out. Talking to the guy from Land Pro, I go, well, what's the availability? He goes, it's all on back order. He goes, as soon as you might be able to get something is November 20th.
So
Unless unless one of the dealers that has one in stock gives it up, he goes, but the chances of that happening are slim to none.
Luke will be home tonight. I gotta pick him up. There's a John Deere combine scrapyard. Up,
In Lansing there.
he's gone up there and they've got tons of
Yeah,
stuff.
I've been up there too. The only problem is I don't really want to buy something used. Cause this is for this particular thing. I've gotten stuff from those guys before.
Yeah,
They're good to deal with, but this is just something that I don't feel like doing more than I have to, because you have to, it's kind of a project to drop it out of there and everything like that. And then you gotta time all the augers so that they hit at the right time when you put everything back in, so it's gonna be a treat. Big round,
fun.
just in parts is $5,000,
All right, what?
just in parts is $5,000. And that's with me doing all the labor,
No, man.
and that's the cheaper option. I could have upgraded and that would have been $8,000. And they said, I think we'll just stay what we're working with for now. And the worst part is because it's on back order, you have to do what John Deere calls machine down, which is like supposed to be like almost overnight shipping for it, just to get the order to come to you. So I have to pay extra and I still won't see it for another 2.5 weeks.
Wow.
Fun. Otherwise, we probably would have been able to finish this week at some point with ours. Then I still have stuff to do for Paul and Marty Miller, and if I could have, I would have tried to do some custom work for like coins and stuff. Like they haven't even started any of theirs yet,
Mm-hmm.
just to make a little money doing custom stuff.
All the fun of being in business.
Yep. Yeah.
Good evening, welcome. Welcome to the November 12th meeting of the Rush Town Board. Will you please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And that would call the roll, please.
Hi,
Here.
Here.
Supervisor Wilbur,
Here.
Here,
Here.
I have one announcement. We're gonna do the new business first, and then we're gonna get to the old business discussion of the R20 and R30 codes, just so everyone knows. Public comment period. Anyone has a comment? 3 minutes, please.
3 minutes, I hear you. Okay, so I'm here for the same thing that I've been here for.
if you would, I just, I'll stick.
Mary Ellen Hayman,
Thank you.
Middle Road. Thank you very much. Sorry you had to do that again.
No, no worries.
Which is stormwater drainage. Because last month, when you had a half-hour meeting that we talked at, Councilman Chase said that he hadn't heard about this before.
You heard you that good?
I'll be louder.
How's it sound?
So anyway. Councilman Chase said he didn't hear anything about the stormwater drainage on Middle Road. I have my neighbor, Eric, who's gonna be getting up talking after me about it because he's here to give you the historical perspective. He moved in 2012, and since 2013, he's been having problems. He's got pictures. He has a very good knowledge and history of the past, and we have not, you had sent me a letter, a regular letter, stamp and everything, because I represented the 5 neighbors.
Mm.
And I was surprised that you didn't send it to anybody else, but none of us have asked for any kind of repair to any damage in our properties. We are trying to mitigate this issue because the stormwater comes from Middle Road. At the top of the road It comes all the way down. And where does it go? It comes into the hamlet. You know, it's not just Middle Road. It is the whole area that it's flooded. You can find houses on 251 that flood when it's flooding on Middle Road. We've looked at the topographical maps, and I would encourage whoever, if you have your highway superintendent, who we started talking to about this last year in January. Kelsey has all of her notes, and we also talked to Tim Walls at the county. So we got a little bit of a drainage area taken up, and when Councilman Chase said that nobody knows about this, it would have been a perfect time to drain the pond with the easement that we brought to you in your office when we met, and you said, this has got to get taken care of. You walked out the door, and we believed that was happening. And why was it that the perfect time? Because the county had all kinds of equipment on that road, and they could have just as well chugged up the road, cleaned out the pond, which you have an easement for, to do that, because there was no drainage on Farm Crest when they put in that subdivision, and that water just runs down the hill without anything stopping it. So I want you all to be aware, we did get somewhat of what I believed was a true response from you when you looked at everything we brought you, that this would be taken care of and that pond would be clean. It's not gonna happen this year, but it needs to happen next year, otherwise you're just gonna be chasing the water. If you don't get rid of the problem, you're just gonna chase the water. And I don't need to have you give me any money about my house. All I want you to do is make the rest of the town safe and water free when these big storms happen. And that retention pond is one way to do it. And there's plenty other on that street, but I'm not talking about them. I'm just talking about us. And before I leave, I would just want to say thank you so much to Councilwoman Morelli for bringing up so many difficult issues this year that people have had to look at. Number one being health insurance. I give you my highest respect for being brave enough to stand up and talk about that, because I know that that's never a popular issue. And if having been responsible for several unions, I've been not having one here. I understand that what you did was exceptional. So I just want to say thank you. And now Eric's next following me on the sign-in sheet. He's gonna come talk to you about his own issues.
Thank you.
Very good. How's everybody? Good.
Good.
Yeah, what she said,
Just give your name for the record. Thank you.
Eric Bethman, Middle Road.
Thank you.
What she said, the retention pond, I just wanna say that I gave pictures, I've got pictures of all 3 times it's flooded down there. Since I've been there. And I got a block wall in my basement that is seeping water. My driveway's cracking up. So there's a lot of water that goes over the center line of the road into my yard. And did you guys see the pictures at all? I've asked JD for the pictures many times, and we've talked to you about the pictures. I don't
Yeah.
know. Did he give them to you?
I don't have a copy of it.
Yeah, well, they got him down in the office, at least they did.
Mark, say the about Mark.
Yeah, with you and JD and guys down there. But, yes, that's a problem. It'd be nice for you guys to look at it. If you haven't already. Have you all looked at it?
I took a look at the pond.
And? Okay.
I gotta talk to Dan about it. I normally we don't have a conversation, but
Yeah.
I talked to Dan about it. I called DEC. We gotta find out when the pond was installed. Because some ponds, such as up in Boulder Creek, they're designed to be eco-friendly ponds and they're
Yeah,
supposed to be
yeah.
growing stuff. There is a time frame. They don't do it anymore. And there's a time frame when it's about 10, 12 years now that they've stopped doing that. So we gotta kind of see if how that pond was designed and the timing of it. If we can clean it, we'll clean it. But there may be some limitations to what we can do based on what
Okay,
DEC
great,
tells us.
Great. Another thing is the town employees at the highway garage, are they still repairing and changing the oil there at the garage? Save the town money? There was a time that they did that. Are they still doing that? We changing all the oil, servicing the trucks
Yeah, what's your, what,
down there.
I guess what's your point of getting to that?
I'm just saving money. Are you still doing that? That's what I'm asking.
Eventually,
That's what I'm asking. Alright, and what's going on with the old Big M lot over here? I'm sure everybody would like to see that gone away. Why hasn't they've been pushed on that? To sell it. Yeah, it gotta be people that have been looking at it. I mean, it's been down for a number of years. Why hasn't that not been pursued?
Private property.
And
And
we can work with the owners. The new owners or the owner
sure,
or can't we?
I'm sure he's trying to sell it.
Was there anything that been done about it? Or asked about it?
It's for sale.
Let's get up there and push. If you had your house for sale, you'd want that. Well, you'd want that to go, wouldn't you? Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Janet Glocker, a Rush resident since 1976. I'd like to thank those at the town hall who assisted me in making sure that the Hiawatha flag is flying to celebrate Native American Month. I grieve the events unfolding at Gola, characterized as one of the most sensitive parcels of land for Seneca Materials in Western New York. Sue Me, our historian, has mounted a fantastic exhibit of Seneca materials in the lobby. The display case features many of the artifacts collected by the Kais family over several generations. Luther, thank you for making them available to us. Gola will soon host solar panels for Horseshoe Solar and its point of insertion. Horizontal directional drilling will bring power from Caledonia under the Genesee River to Rush. Rush will host 8.4 megawatts in this 180 megawatt project. Given the cloudiness and the Earth's curvature, these panels will be at most 20% efficient, meaning all of this for Rush is about 1.68 megawatts. There was a pre-construction meeting in Caledonia last week of many of the subcontractors and the agencies who will interact for this Horseshoe project. But Todd Nobby, Invenergy's manager of renewable energy project, has still not visited Rush to talk with us and answer questions. When's he coming to Rush? If the horizontal drilling starts next Monday, the 17th, how is it appropriate that he's not come to Rush? The Caledonia board arranged for him to brief them many, many months ago. I'm not blaming Mr. Nobby. He said clearly at the Caledonia briefing that he was willing to come and brief us. Please invite him, set a date, give us a date when he can explain the project to us and answer questions. Thank you. I will respectfully request that these comments be part of the official record. I'll send them to you tomorrow.
He will be here at the first December town board meeting.
Hello, my name is John Morelli. I live at 535 Five Points Road. And I want to report a potential concern regarding the town highway department. I say potential because I can't be certain that it was intentional. But on Tuesday, a town plow on 5 Points Road crashed into both my garbage pails, spreading garbage all over my driveway in the yard. And I find it curious because the pails were set back from the paved road, at least as far as the others on the road and more than many, although I did see one that was about 6 feet back, so that doesn't count. My wife, Jean Morelli, who's not aware of my intent to make this presentation tonight, also lives at the same address. And I find this incident suspicious because as a member of the town board, she had been arguing in favor of what appeared to me a reasonable reduction in town subsidized employment benefits for those in the highway department. Although there is no obvious connection between these two events, and since I am planning no further action in this regard, I believe it to be worthy of reporting it to you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did they come back and pick it up?
No, I picked it up.
Oh.
Anyone else?
Aren't you glad I don't bring them all the time?
Moving on. Approval of the minutes.
I so move to approve town board minutes of Wednesday, October 29th, 2025, as submitted by Town Clerk Hardgrave. Do I have a second?
A second.
Aye.
Aye.
Kate,
Aye.
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 Brown,
Aye.
Approve the abstract.
I so move, having reviewed all vouchers on abstract 11-1 dated November 12th, 2025, authorizes payments totaling $30,391, which includes Fund AA General for $25,677.02, DA Highway Townwide for $4,173.99, and LL Library for $539.99. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Councilperson Aye.
Aye.
Kate,
Aye.
Supervisor Wilbur,
Aye.
Aye.
Brown,
Aye.
Report of officers. Deputy Supervisor Chase.
So I attended the October Planning Board meeting, pretty good meeting, nothing that stuck out. There's major, some single family homes, things of that nature. Also, since our last town board meeting, we had 2 budget workshops that I attended, and yeah, I guess we had some pretty good discussion. We worked through stuff. I'm happy that we were able to complete the budget for this year. So that's what I have to report.
Thank you. Councilperson Morelli.
So, yeah, there was a couple of things since our last regular town board meeting on October 22nd. I attended the special meeting on October 29th with everybody else. We just approved the minutes for that, all having to do with budget. Also, we had another budget meeting on Wednesday, November 5th, where we had the public hearing. But also on Monday, November 3rd, I attended the pre-construction meeting that was referred to earlier, and it was at the Caledonia Library. This is regarding Horseshoe Solar, Invenergy, the Horseshoe Solar Project, and various contractors were there. I was there with Supervisor Willover. Amber Corbin was here on behalf of Luther Kais, there, I should say. They had quite a few people from, not only from Invenergy, but they had people from SOLV Energy, EDR, which is doing the archaeological monitoring, Hogland, I don't know, Deluxe Agricultural and Environmental Monitoring. There was also representatives from ORES and the DEC were all there. There were a lot of representatives at this meeting when they talked about this was specifically about the construction that is supposed to start within the next couple of weeks for the borings that are going to be going under the Genesee River. This is all referenced by Janet Glocker. There'll be, 7 borings, about 2,000 feet long. We talked about them. They're going from west to east. My understanding is all the equipment is going to drive that way, but then stuff will be going from east to west and so on. So there will be activity in Rush. There'll be lots of trucks. I'm sure that our highway supervisor is involved with that and knows what they're going to do they'll be coming in, they don't, I know that they're, supposed to be putting in some roadways, temporary roadways, and it's all going to be covered with wood planking to protect the topsoil. They're spent quite a lot of time discussing how crucial that is to farmers.
Timber mats are going down.
Timber mats. I think of that in my mind as, kind of wood planking like in 200 years ago. Anyway, that's where, Plank Road.
Yep.
That's how it got his name,
Mhm.
and when Plank Road's all over the place, that's how they got their name. Anyway, a little aside. So it's supposed to start November 17th through December 5th, the mobilization. Construction potentially is starting December 6th through March 2nd of 26. They say they will be adhering to the road use agreements that we have in place. The hours are going to be Monday to Saturday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. and on Sunday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. There will be increased traffic on River Road there because that's where they don't have really an access road in there yet. My understanding is where they described it. So there's going to be a lot of traffic on East River Road, just so everybody knows that. They will have some temporary access roads from Gola Road south to the site. As I mentioned, 7 bores. They talked about agricultural restoration starting in March of 26 after they're done with that. And then they're going to button it up until they're ready to use it when the panels start coming in, another year beyond that. But they want to get this part done. Deluxe did a presentation on the environmental and agricultural monitoring. Now, the town does have the ability, according to our host community agreement, to have our own our own monitor there, for historic preservation and, to make sure everything is okay. We have that. Caledonia had a group of people there. They were also at this meeting, the supervisor, their attorney, their MRB, their code enforcement people. They had in full force show up at this meeting. So what I was trying to say was the archaeological monitoring. Amber, you should have jumped in and told me the word that I was looking for. Anyway, they are aware that that is a very sensitive area. So I hope that they have read the reports that were already filed in the preliminary investigations that were done and paid for by Tubiolo. And so a lot of sensitive areas and sites were identified, so they better be aware of that. I did ask about when Todd Nobby was coming here to town board because I had been told by him that he was coming tonight to make a presentation to the town. And I only found out in an indirect way by poking and prodding that they've now put that off to December 10th. So December 10th, hopefully but they're already started work, so I don't know why. I don't know why. I can't tell you why they're not here. Maybe you know. But anyway, that's my report.
Thank you.
Yep.
Luther?
I don't have a whole lot to report other than the fact that, both Janet and, Amber got hold of me after the meeting. And, we found some, they found some information on the webpage for the solar farms for if you have a concern or complaint or want to know knowledge, there is a place to apply for. And, it took a little bit of doing, I guess, but we did. Pam did get it on the webpage, you understand? So, we were able to get that set up so people can find it easily on there. Or she did. I don't want to take any credit for it. I just asked to do it. So, other than that, that's about all I got. So,
Okay. Derek?
Pretty short, I guess. Attended the special town board meeting on the 29th of October and then also the November 5th one. I think I got my dates correct. And we finalized the budget, so that's all I got.
Very good. Annette, you have a report?
Submitted a request to the town board, which you all have, for a $2 fee for all notary public requests for non-residents. Being a notary public is a personal decision, not a professional requirement. The $2 fee in the amount, it's gonna be used for, helping with offset costs associated with dog control, tax and housing of stray dogs. And we do not notarize wills in our office, and we're gonna continue to honor that recommendation by the state. We submitted the October monthly revenue report for the supervisor with a check of $10,451.18. And state revenue funds submitted for $482.25. The state revenue increased because of hunting license. And now we've been getting lots of people coming in for their second BMPs, which are the second doe tax.
Thank you. Kevin?
Nothing.
I attended all the special meetings and the special meeting for pre-construction for Invenergy was informative. They're going to begin setting up equipment November 17th. And they're moving forward. That's it.
Does the highway department have anything to say?
I can speak
Right.
when we go to do the resolution, if you'd like,
Okay.
for the equipment stuff.
All right. We're gonna move on to new business. Need a resolution to approve the Mark Engineering spill prevention plan.
Can you explain that again? Refresh.
that's for the,
We have new above ground tanks and we have to have a plan in place if they were to rupture.
Okay, okay, at the garage.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
And DEC requires that be done.
right.
We had one other quote that was $5,000 more. So
5,000 more.
came in at 9,500. So
you gonna do it there?
someone want to read it?
I so move to approve Marks Engineering to provide a spill prevention control and countermeasure SPCC plan for a property located at 804 Rush West Rush Road, Rush, New York, in the amount not to exceed $4,500. Do I have a second?
Oh, second.
Councilor Ice,
Aye.
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 Brown,
Aye.
Need a resolution to declare our 2005 case backhoe as surplus and 2003 Ford F-150 as surplus. So we can dispose of them.
And there's a market for these things, I think you mentioned to us?
Yes, so by recommendation of a couple of the salesmen, they recommended that we, because of the timing that we put them on the online internet sales. Because of the time the equipment showed up. Um, so, it served us well since 2013.
So there's a reserve on it
Yeah,
essentially.
the 16,000 that Milk Cat has.
You should do
told
pretty
state
good on
give us.
that.
So,
Does that money stay with the highway or does it?
yeah, that money will stay within the highway fund balance once the check comes from the sales.
That's a four-wheel drive and extend the hole and all that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's gonna bring a lot of,
Yeah.
yeah.
So. I've been pulled from anywhere from, 20 to 25, so that's what,
The F-150,
yeah, 150, I mean.
$1,000 bucks?
$1,000, if we got that, I'd
Be surprised.
be happy, so. As far as some of the other stuff, referring to, the thing about the garbage cans, it's not a personal thing, it just happens, it doesn't happen just to, certain people, so. They're kind of a casualty of war at certain points. So, as far as the drainage stuff goes, I mean, as we work through the winter and stuff, hopefully. Get some answers from engineers and DEC like you were talking and, we can come up with a plan at some point to. See if we can't mitigate some of that stuff.
Okay.
Thank you.
Like. I so move to approve the highway superintendent's request to declare as surplus the 2005 Case backhoe and 2013 Ford F-150. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Councilperson Kyes,
Aye.
Councilperson Chase,
Aye.
President Williver,
Aye.
Riley,
Aye.
Councilperson Brown,
Aye.
Had to make an amendment to the New York State retirement records and of activities. So we need a resolution for that.
What are we changing on the day? What, the hours on the day?
Just it wasn't reported. Had to be,
and then we had to add. But the one person wasn't elected, so they had to remove them, and then they had to add an elected person that wasn't.
Okay.
So on the appointed people, how come there's only those people and not other people on the boards? I don't understand. You have one sub-board member. No, not elected.
because she's part of the retirement system. So her.
Oh, the others aren't?
Yeah, the others are.
Okay.
You have to be in the system already.
You have to opt into that.
Yeah.
Like I opted out.
Right, because you have it.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Just curious.
I so move to approve the updated NYS LRS standard workday and reporting resolution for elected and appointed officials, resolution number 155-2025, previously approved on July 23rd, 2025. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Councilor Dwight,
Aye.
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 Brown,
Aye.
Before we get into the next, is this something we need to take action on for charging for the notary, or is that something we have to wait till next meeting? We don't have a resolution to do that.
That could be, it'll be part of the fee schedule, like be a part of the organizational meeting where you set the fee schedule for the year for all
Okay,
fees. We can just make that as part of that. Typically is when you would do a fee schedule change. It doesn't necessarily need specific board approval in this current instance to be part of the overall fee schedule.
okay.
The resolution for the RFP for electric for barn number 7. We only had one contractor submit a bid and not exactly sure we have the cash to cover it. So we're gonna do a little investigation and see if we can move forward with that or not.
So we're gonna hold off on this or no?
We're gonna-
I was surprised you only got one.
I know.
So was I. But
And when you say cash to cover it, that's covered through the
That
grant.
grant.
that's all with a grant.
Right, so it's not pound funds, it's
No,
it's grant
definitely not
funds
town
that
funds.
we're dealing with.
Yep. And then we can move on to old business, discussion of the codes R20 and R30. And where did we go?
So my notes, I don't know, your notes show. My notes show,
Clipped at airport airstrips.
yeah, right after that, I drew a line right above, code section 120-62.
Okay.
What page,
Oh, here we go.
32,
Page 32.
we got the same line. Okay, section 120-62 is where we're starting tonight. We ended the last one right before that.
This has to do with fracking legislation that we did a long time ago.
I thought fracking, so fracking, as far as I was concerned, in the town of Rush, that was a prohibited activity.
It
right?
is,
It is.
I don't see that would change. I know that there were some things that were added to that recommended
Yeah.
additions, which would be grading, cutting and filling. No grading, cutting and filling shall negatively impact adjacent neighbors, vacant property, roadways, easements, or other property features.
And the next section was moved.
I guess I don't see anything.
No. Dogs.
We move on.
Yes, next
Okay.
sections. Article 1, Chapter 28, dogs. Definitions, purpose. Panel, any building or lot which.
Now, some of this we already did talk about
Hmm.
when defining stuff, so we did go through
Yep.
that.
Red dog licenses were cut out. Did we get to commercial kennels
No.
based on
I-
grease?
section 28-9, is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
It would be covered under ag and markets. Mhm.
Say there's a-
You can bring that up. But I guess I'm not. To me, that's dealing with trying to extract natural gas or anything like that. I don't know. In my opinion, I don't think that applies to
Okay.
that's. There was a question on one line. Luther had just pointed out to me. Use is prohibited in all districts, going back to the fracking, and then no effluent or matter of any kind shall be discharged onto land or into any stream or body of water which causes objectionable odors or fumes, or which is poisonous or injurious to human or plant life. I think Luther's concern was, as far as agriculture is concerned, like spreading of animal waste or animal manure for that matter. The way that I understood this, is that this pertains more towards having to do with fracking or extracting of any kind of petroleum or oil. That would be my understanding of this line in this particular instance here. So, Luther questioned it and I was giving him my opinion on what that line was. So.
I guess I was, unless we need to clarify it, I was also assuming it was byproducts of any of that.
Yeah.
Right, but I was just,
Yeah,
sometimes things get written and then it bites you.
Yeah.
yes.
So I'm just trying to avoid the bite.
So I'm sorry, where were we prior to that?
We were going down to section two
But
pages.
should we mark that so that says it's not manure,
We could make that note. Yeah, I mean, I
if not, yeah, how would you?
Well, and I guess would, as a result of fracking.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can tie the weight, the waste of the byproduct related to fracking, so it's specific to that.
So just
event,
add real-
It'll exclude anything, to your point, Luther, about manure or any of those other more organic things that's separate, distinct. It's related solely to the fracking activities.
No effluent related to fracking.
Right.
Mark that, yeah, there we go. The new section on commercial kennels. Hours of operation 7 to 9 p.m. Buildings housing dogs after hours of operation shall be soundproof, so noises emitted from kennels, buildings, when measured by neighbor properly, shall not exceed 50 decibels. All kennels shall be screened from adjacent rights of ways and intervening landforms, vegetation and or fencing to not be openly visible from said right of ways or property lines. All kennels shall have adequate provisions for removal of waste and odors shall not become a nuisance to the adjacent properties. Distance of 3 miles between kennels, is that reasonable? Minimum of 10 acres per site for a kennel.
I guess I don't see any problem with that. I don't know. I mean, the only thing like that I mean, the mileage restriction, perhaps. Especially if you have a 10-acre minimum.
If it's 10 acre minimum, it's good size.
Noise carries. I don't know.
Also, a public 50 decibel limit. I don't know how.
Yeah,
And night it's supposed to be soundproof, so that shouldn't be a problem. I don't know, just bring it up.
I mean, other towns have looked at this as well and come up with a 3 mile radius between any kennels. I don't think we want to get saturated with them in a residential area, so I think we need to protect our residential areas as much as possible.
Okay. Maximum number of dogs housed, 12. Over 1 years of age. We use Adnan, and I don't know how many dogs they house there, but there's never even hear a dog when you go there.
Where?
Adnan over in Mendon Ponds.
Oh, I don't know them. I don't know them.
Well, no objection, we'll just move on.
Mhm.
Okay. And it does require a special permit, so.
Yep.
But no other recommendations to existing laws. Till we get to kennel fencing, it was just pretty basic.
Mhm.
Everything else we talked about. I think.
I thought we had as far as manufactured and the difference between manufactured and mobile homes, right? Or am I jumping ahead too far?
No, I'm there. They interchange manufactured homes with mobile homes, pretty much.
Yeah.
And that may be something that's, if I'm not mistaken, mandated by Albany.
And I believe that's where it came from.
That would be a state,
Excuse me?
that would typically be a state mandate. So is the question the definition of manufactured versus mobile? I'm sorry, I'm not looking at what you're looking at.
Oh,
so
yeah,
just
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to Make sure.
I just recall John Limbeck talking about that and that, you know, that's why we added the word manufactured, which
Yes.
is seems to be
That's
what's in the-
more common nomenclature now.
exactly.
Because they're not, more often than not, they're not now truly mobile homes. They're more affixed to a foundation as opposed to being,
Yeah,
you know,
on wheels.
on wheels that you can just kind of get in and out. So they're going more towards manufactured aspect. From a definitional perspective.
Luther, you had a question?
what do we decide about airports and things like that?
The
Runways.
2 existing are the only ones that are allowed at this point. No new ones.
No new ones.
No new ones.
Okay. I mean, it seems like we're doing this forever, so I.
No, we have been doing this forever.
I was looking back through the string of emails from Scott Strock and I was like, holy smokes.
Yeah,
I know the revision, updates.
Yeah.
first revision was 6/17.
Well, that was the last one. We had revisions before that.
Mhm.
I found them. It's like, no, don't go.
Right, yeah.
They've been incorporated
Get
into
the
this
last one,
document.
right? Yeah.
So this is the one we've all been working on.
Okay,
I came to the end. Unless there was something else we were supposed to look at.
No.
that's all I
Well,
had for now.
um,
Coming up.
I think we're gonna need someone to go through all our notes and hopefully, I mean, I've taken notes and make sure that the things we've discussed between June 17th and now have been we need to get incorporated into an update that we need to review before we can go further, make sure.
I thought the same thing.
Scott
Yeah.
generally on top of that,
I know,
and I don't know about his. condition.
hopefully he's recovering.
The only other thing I had, just going off of Scott's last email that came out, I think the 2nd of October. We got one from Scott discussing some of, businesses that we already have in the residential districts and how we can handle that moving forward. I don't know if any of you guys
Yeah,
had time to review that or look over that last email.
yeah, evacuations.
This is,
So I don't know if there's been recommendations from a legal perspective on that.
No, in the email, he had just stated that, he had gone over it with the code committee. The code committee as a whole seemed to approve of what he said. He goes, he didn't have the exact verbiage at that time that he presented to us, but the idea as a whole, they seem to be, in favor of. There was a couple different things. He had pre-existing uses. And there was a couple different ways to go about the pre-existing use. I have it in front of me, but I'm kind of going off the top of my head. Different ways that they could prove pre-existing use, whether they could provide a existing special use permit that had been granted by the planning board in whatever years prior. The other thing was through an assessment, if they've been paying commercial taxes on the property was another avenue to prove. This is just going off of pre-existing non-conforming with the special use permit, so they are pre-existing prior to this. They had the town paperwork to document that says that they were given a special use permit.
Right, if they did that, if they went
they-
and
if-
got
if-
a special permit.
If they got it, and then I think if I was reading this right, the other thing was, if their tax roll showed that they were being billed as a commercial business was another way to identify that that was a pre-existing property, because that's how the tax roll identifies that property as. I don't, that's how I
Right.
read it. I'm not sure if that's.
That's an important thing to look at.
So, the other thing that Scott had recommended was, if you guys probably all remember, there was a discussion of having a rural residential, a new zoning district. We kind of tossed that around. I think we all kind of, looking at that right at this point, agree that that probably isn't in the best interest of the town, probably for several different reasons. Most notably for me is, and when we first started talking about it, it was in the back of my head is, that's pretty much spot zoning, which is 100% illegal. So
Correct.
that's not something that we can't move forward with doing something like that in this instance. The other thing that he had recommended was adding other allowed uses with a special use permit. Two of the recommendations that he gave, and this is where he said that the zoning or the code committee had been in favor of these changes. Just he hadn't gave them the exact way that he had spelled it out to us, where was an excavation code to be put in there. So the excavation code, that particularly pertains to like gravel mining. Not like an excavation type company. But in the code, as it's written right now, we're not allowing any new rock quarries other than, I believe, what has already been determined by what is it? It used to be Hanson. It's not Hanson anymore. Heidelberg Materials. I think they already had a permit in to expand that pit prior to this revision of the code. The other one that he had proposed was a septic cleaning. So it would allow a septic pumping company to be allowed with a special use permit within a residential district. I'm fine with both of those. I think that if if we're going to do that, maybe we should look at expanding that even a little bit further into allowed uses with a special use permit. But I don't know what you guys think. I mean, I would like to see a trucking business be allowed and and a, you know, a contracting business to be allowed also. Just kind of looking at what we currently are dealing with in some of these areas. So I don't know what the rest of the board feels about
I'll
adding.
tell you what I feel, and you know what I feel.
I know, I
You're
know.
waiting,
No, I
biting my tongue.
I know, I'm just
See
reading.
the blood coming.
I saw it. Well, yeah,
I am adamantly opposed to allowing anything as disruptive as a trucking business in a residential zone. Residential zones are sacred to the people who live there, and we should respect that. And that, yes, there are businesses in town, and hopefully with special permits, you know, and why they were allowed, God only knows. But I think some of those, you know, it's even possible that some of those things may have expired, a term potentially. When people are doing that level of business, they belong in a commercial or light industrial zone. We have them in this town set aside for those businesses. We have to preserve residential zones, you know, and not expand on commercial activities in residential zones, especially that anything that will create noise and dust nuisance. That's absolutely, I will scream to the top of my lungs against that one. I'm sorry. I am so crazy about that. I will not ever vote for that. And I'm one vote, but oh my God.
The septic cleaning place, that's it's not noise or dust or anything.
Well,
Got
okay,
3
so
trucks
we have
stored
one,
inside,
but it's a commercial.
across from a gun club.
Yeah, I know, but those are all pre-existing, pre-code probably with the gun club. We have to live with that right now. You know, the other businesses, I think we all agreed that we're not necessarily going to kick them out of, you know, off, you know, their premises, you know, and to try and find a way to accommodate them while they're in business. But any new ones have to go to either commercial zone or limited industrial. I mean, that's it. That's it.
The trucking company began as Rush Gravel because it's a gravel pit there.
Yeah, when, what year?
As long as they're carrying.
I know,
They-
exactly.
Gravel.
And we all do business with them, and they're fine people and this and that, and no one is trying to hurt anybody. But we're talking about changing the code to allow such things? No, we need these people to get a special permit so that if they go out of business, it's done. This is a residential area. Period. And someone else want to do business, you come in, you make your case, you try and, you know, get a variance or a special permit, you know. But we need to preserve our residential areas. We have, where's your copy? Where's your copy of the comprehensive plan? You know what it
it's
says.
in my house.
Yes. Well, we have designated areas that have room in them. We worked on those code revisions to make it easier to do business, to operate in this town, in those zones. We changed the zoning for this whole area to allow businesses to come into our hamlet. You know, we changed everything. We cleaned up. We've been working so hard. We really, really did. I got to say that that's been a real highlight to do that.
No, I agree 100%, but
For residential, absolutely not. Nope, nope, no how, no way. I'll go screaming and kicking on that one.
well,
I'll throw myself in front of trucks. I don't know. I will not give up.
okay.
Can't do it.
Let's set a public hearing.
Well, we don't have we
Once
we have to
well,
get this,
You should get if you're gonna schedule a public hearing, once you schedule it before the public hearing, you're gonna have to have the law ready to go to be
Okay,
published so everybody can see it, so you're gonna have to get it finalized where you're comfortable with it before we
Okay.
take this.
well, so if you said Scott's gonna do that, Dan, we'll finalize the final stuff
Oh.
or?
I'll get a hold of Scott.
Can I get a copy of it so I can see it when he's?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You need to
So
look
it's,
at it as well, I would think.
it's pretty much exactly what we started with today, right? We didn't make any significant changes,
Yep.
right?
Today,
Right,
you know, and whatever else I mean, that's why this has been going on for so long.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's get all the comments in there in a revised document
yeah,
that we all will have a chance to review before we do anything else.
Okay.
And that way, when it goes to the public, if there's a decent amount of page, it's already in a kind of a. You're further along the process, you're not kind of just on the, you know, just a generic, you know, kind of free flowing. You need to have something to point to so you can see the changes and everybody can understand what's being changed.
Okay, I'll get a hold of Scott and have him updated and put it together and get a final copy and,
Or if you can't do it, I can certainly do it. I just need the notes.
okay,
That's easy.
yeah, I haven't talked to Scott lately, so
see how he's feeling, hopefully he's doing all right.
all right.
Thank you.
You know,
Well-
my grandfather helped
Ye-
put the zoning together here. Probably his grandfather did too. I'm sure they had the same arguments when they were putting it together than we're having it, redesigning it.
You know, times change, people change, you know, we evolve. But, you know, we learn from past mistakes and what we need to protect. You know that you're an environmental business. You're correcting past mistakes that are made that were permitted, but we realize like, whoa, we shouldn't have done that, right?
Well, I was, here we are, the old farmers at this end of the table, and we got the residential people at that end. We gotta we'll compromise, we'll work it out, we'll
Which we
figure it
do.
out.
We did significantly,
No,
but some things you can't bend on. There's a wall.
All right. Well, having conducted all business, make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that. Did you want to announce the next
I will.
outcome? Okay.
Hi,
Hey,
Kate,
Aye.
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 Upcoming meetings, conservation boards tomorrow, zoning will be on the 20th and planning board will be the 25th. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.